Welcome back, you sexy motherfuckers.
Jesus, already with the cussing.
We're right in there.
All right.
And we got a very special episode for y'all today.
So you guys know, I wish he'd stop doing that.
My Hero Academia Season 5 review.
Yeah.
Out of Pocket Anime Podcast. It's your boy, Blackie Chan.
I appreciate the long pauses for dramatic effect, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay.
It was.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, that's season 5. I was like, oh my god, what's he gonna say next?
Yeah.
You're like season 5 review, and I was like, oh, that's why he paused.
I thought you were gonna be like, yo, Comedy Hashira, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Yeah, that's usually what I do when
do.
you're like, it's Blackie Chan.
No, what you usually do is and then you go, my asshole don't hurt. Hero, and then you go, heroes are for fools. And then you go, academia, and then you go,
ladies and gentlemen,
academia, we don't read.
This is a perfect...
We don't read it. OP, academia.
This is a perfect example of not everybody can do what I do, and that's okay.
Oh yeah, is that why you giggled when I said we couldn't read?
That was a funny one. That actually upset me because I was like, I had this whole planned out right now to say, and you said that laugh one that made me actually giggle, and I was like, that doesn't help, but I'm still gonna ride this out. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna fucking do.
That's what you.
I already decided I was gonna say it. It's gonna get said.
That's what you always do, Comedy Hashira.
That is what I always do. What I do, baby.
But yeah,
boo.
Season 5, we're all the way caught up to season 7.
Yeah, in the show. In the show, not the mangas. We don't read. Like he said before. We can't read.
It's not that we don't read, it's that we can't.
It is funny, though. I do appreciate you guys always in the comments when we trash people who read mangas. You guys are always like, oh, it's probably because you can't read. I'm like, okay, well, I appreciate you guys watching the full clip. Because that's what we say all of the time. It makes me giggle every time I read it.
Oftentimes, I'll leave out the part where we say we can't read. So it'll be like, we don't.
Yeah, because there's only so much you can clip to make sense. Yeah.
And that's what I'll clip. And then they'll be like, yeah, it's probably because you can't read.
Yeah. Also,
do they know?
Also, do they understand the irony of commenting you can't, probably because you can't read? That's a comment we would have to read.
Right.
I don't think they get it.
No. And that's why we don't respond.
You know, it's like, oh my god, you're blind? Can you see what I'm doing right now? No. I'm fucking blind.
I told you.
You know? I'm fucking blind, sir. What are we doing here? Like, that's all they're doing. And it makes me giggle. It does. I do enjoy some internet trolls.
Yes.
I do enjoy them. Yeah.
Yes. But we are all the way caught up. We're all the way
caught up.
Season 7, episode 1.
There you go.
Jesus Christ. Or episode 3.
Man. Ralph.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Get a little hot in her.
Episode 4 is coming out this Saturday, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's exciting.
If we release this episode this week, then yeah. So by the time this episode gets released, we'll probably be on episode 5 coming out.
Probably.
Yeah. It'll probably be episode 5. Maybe even episode 6.
Right. But so far, season 7 going well.
Fucking excited, enjoying the shit out of it. It's a good season so far. It started off with a bang. I mean, we all know things can't keep running that fast. Like it had to take some off the gas a little.
Yeah, it had to
you know what I mean? But I ain't mad at starting it out that way. Like if you are gonna pick a time to fucking just let shit happen, the beginning, I'm with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very cool. So for those who haven't started season 7 yet, if you've already watched season 6, get on that shit.
Yeah, and I know we even talked about it when we just covered the episode 1, just because it was so good. We wanted to make sure that we covered it by itself.
We'll have that in the comments below.
Just the fact that this is actually, it is considered a new gen anime, but it doesn't follow that same model where everything's fast and quick hitting and they get right to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, we mentioned that in our season 7 coverage. First episode again.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe.
Words are hard.
Watch that shit.
Yeah. All right.
But...
Good out. You think I didn't know what you were doing, motherfucker?
Snuck out of that. We're good.
We all knew what you were doing, baby girl.
But yeah, definitely check that out. We've already covered it.
Yep.
Season 5 is a pickup season, in my opinion. It's one that picks up the pace in regards to what you're normally used to in My
Okay.
Hero.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah,
very
I think this
excited.
is where it really started to be like, oh shit, it's about to like everything's kind of building to something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you start to lose All Might, right?
Well,
That's where this is the
yeah,
first season where you don't really have All Might.
no, and it does like put a stamp on that with starting off with the Endeavor backstory, which I don't know
Case
if I
in
want
point.
to say it's wild because we kind of already knew it, but it's wild. It's wild in the sense that it's one thing to hear something, it's another thing to like see it. You know what I mean?
Hear something versus seeing it. What do you mean?
Yeah, like if I hear someone stabbed somebody 5 times to kill him, right? You're like,
Right.
"Oh shit, that's fucking terrible."
Oh my god.
And then if you see it, you're like, "What the fuck is going on here?" Like it's completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the Ray Rice punch. You heard he punched his girlfriend, and you're like,
Right.
"Damn, that's fucked up. You can't hit your girl. You knocked her out too. That's fucking crazy." Then you saw it, and you were
Right.
like, "Yo, this is
Yeah.
out of control." That's how I feel about this Endeavor backstory. So when I think of
Yeah.
the Endeavor backstory, I think of Ray Rice punching his wife.
I was about to say, great comparison. Great analysis
It
there.
actually isn't a terrible
Phenomenal.
one because he treated his wife like ass.
Right. Well, and it's just like the Cassie situation with Diddy, right? Where they
Oh,
settled. They settled in court like I want to say a
yeah.
year ago, right? About a year ago, and
I'm
then
bad with time. I was going to say a few months ago.
maybe even a few months, even if it's 6 months, 5 months, three
Yeah,
months.
maybe bad time runs in the family.
Right.
Genetics.
Don't know exact on the timelines,
Yeah,
but
continue.
very similar in that you hear that and then you see the video come out and you're like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
Yeah, Diddy definitely did what she was
Oh,
accusing him of
100%,
doing.
dude. That shit was fucking out of control.
You're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. This nigga was sitting down throwing bottles at her and shit. That shit was wild, bro.
My God.
Absolutely bonkers. But that's Endeavor's backstory in a
In a
nutshell.
nutshell.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
you hear it like throughout the show, you're like, yeah, all right, none of your kids like you, your family doesn't like you, your wife
Uh-huh.
is in a fucking mental institution. Like, what are
Yeah.
we doing here, my guy? Like you
Hmm.
suck. And then you actually like see his backstory with his family, and you're like,
Jesus.
Jesus Christ, dude, you are the fucking worst.
Yeah. Dope. Dope arc though, because it a lot of foreshadowing there, right?
Yeah, a lot of that
A lot of
Vegeta.
foreshadowing. It's like at season 5, it's like, how is he gonna get out of this? Because you can
Right.
tell he gives you hints in this season of I fucked up. How can I
Yeah.
figure this shit out? And
Yeah.
it's like, dude, when you figure out what he did, you're like, how the fuck could you ever
Yeah,
fix
and
that?
this is actually kind of an interesting concept too, because a lot of times when people get what they wanted, like let's say you're trying to be a billionaire and you're broke, you don't when you become a billionaire, sometimes those people are like shitty people. And it's like, oh, the money and power just made you a shittier version of what you were. Endeavor, it's the almost the opposite, right? Like he was a number two for so long, you would think he gets up to number one, he would potentially become an even worse version of himself because that's who he's always been. And
Hmm.
instead, him being number one and seeing how many people are looking up to him with All Might missing and seeing the change in the atmosphere of what's going on, it's
Hmm.
interesting that they made him revert and be like, yo, hold up. I need to
Right.
fix some shit.
Yeah, very interesting. I never thought about the aspect of how he became number one and whether or not that affected how he changed, right? Was it that
Yeah.
he saw that Todoroki wanted nothing to do with him? Or was it that he achieved what he thought was success and
Uh,
realized
it wasn't what he
this
thought it'd be.
doesn't really mean shit?
Phew!
Fuck you, man. That was a great moment and you just sneezed that shit away.
I felt like part of my soul left my body, at least
Nah, man,
3% of my soul in
man,
that
fuck your
sneeze.
soul.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Yeah. But I mean, it's really something to think about though. Like, is it
Yeah.
because of his is it because of the way he got it, where he didn't earn it? All Might
Right.
just left.
All Might lost it.
And does that, like, if he would have earned it, would he still go on being a piece of shit?
Or would he
Whenever you're ready.
see that it didn't fucking help anything? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
him getting number one didn't fucking help shit.
Yeah. And in fact, shit got worse.
That's like, it
Immediately.
really meant nothing.
Immediately,
like,
shit
imagine
got worse.
achieving your ultimate goal as a kid, right? That's his goal as a kid.
Right.
Made it pretty obvious. And you realize it's nothing.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about. It makes you really, really wonder, you know?
Yeah. And
Like,
that's what great writing does, right?
I was just
Because
about to
they
say that.
fucking
I was just
wrote
about to say,
Endeavor.
with his whole backstory and everything you see with his family, like, it's interesting to think when he, like, because, you see that he does the arranged marriage or the paid for marriage with the mom, and the mom did it to kind of help save her family in that sense. So it's, when you see that, you're kind of like, it's interesting because it seems like he's always kind of cared about his kids in a fucked up way. Like, he was like, I want to breed with you because you would be the best combination for me, and we'd have the kind of children that could be potentially number one in the world eventually, right? So
I was
he's
gonna say,
always
I don't
kind of
know.
cared about the kids. It's just
I
in
don't
a
know. I think he
very
just cared
fucked
about
up,
beating All
twisted
Might,
way.
right? Like, he thought he wasn't good enough to beat All Might,
So
which is why he wanted to
so
have kids who could have both fire and water.
so you don't
Well,
think
ice.
it had anything to do with, but wouldn't that still,
Because he made it very
I'm
evident that
yeah,
it
you're
was
not
because of
wrong.
All Might, right?
Yeah, you're
Like,
not
he never
wrong.
thought that All Might was going to lose his power, and he never thought he was going to
Right.
end up surpassing him. So he's like, if I have a
Right.
kid with an ice bitch, you know what I'm saying, a cute ass ice bitch at that.
That's baddie.
She was very beautiful.
Crazy. So just my type.
Hit me up, all right? I'll treat you right.
Oh,
I
that's
don't
right.
give
You
a
do love the
damn where you've been
mamas. You
enrolled.
do love the mamas.
You've been in a mental health facility. I don't give a damn.
I
You know what I'm
think you
saying?
do.
I don't give a damn. You
You
know what
hear
I'm
that,
saying?
ladies? Just
I
remember
don't
he said that
give a
when you
damn.
guys go out on a date and you watch this episode. Remember that he said he does not give a fuck if you went to a mental hospital. That is his
Remember that.
words.
Remember
Never
that.
forget 9/11.
Never forget. Okay. Really? Really?
What? Did you forget 9/11? I didn't. I'll never forget.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
it's
crazy.
not crazy at
Don't
all. It's
compare my
normal.
love to 9/11. Don't
Uh,
compare my love to 9/11.
why? Because you don't want your dreams to come crashing down.
All right.
Ah!
No. We're moving forward.
Skies on
Okay.
fire.
But
Yeah,
the Endeavor story, we talked about this back when you first turned me on to the show, and
yeah.
it was, I think it had already came out by then. But when I finally caught up to you, I
Hmm.
was like, damn, that Endeavor backstory, man, that shit is dope. That shit drives similar to Vegeta, right?
Yeah, it's
Overcoming
very,
being a fucked up person.
yeah, it's very similar, and just like the kind of waves they made. The difference is they found a way in Dragon Ball Z, because I personally, even though Vegeta's not my favorite character in DBZ, I think he's the best developed character
Yeah,
in
he's my
DBZ.
favorite for sure.
Yeah, I think he's easily the best developed character, right? So, with that being said, the difference between him and Endeavor is Endeavor is going through this like metamorphosis, and he's trying to change his ways, versus Vegeta didn't necessarily change who he is. He just changed the, like,
Nah, he changed who he is.
he
What the fuck are
changed the
you
way he
talking
goes
about?
about it. He's still a dick.
That's what I'm saying.
He's
He's
still
always
a
been a
prick.
dick.
That's what I'm saying. He's not getting rid of that aspect. Like, Endeavor's trying to be nice to his family, treat them well. Like, Vegeta's still Vegeta. He just cares about the right things now.
Now,
I think that's the difference. Is he's still the same person. He just cares about his family. He
it's
cares
not
about
the same
Earth. He cares
person.
about all that. I think he is.
How can you say that's the same person when he's caring about more things?
Uh, it's the same, like, personality, I guess is a better way to put it. The same personality. He's still a prick to everybody.
But the
He's
point
still
is that
yelling all the
you're
time. He
saying
still rides
caring
off his anger. he just cares about more things. That's why I switched it. His personality.
Nah.
His personality is still the same. Versus Endeavor, who was this rash, rubby character. All right, man, you can
Their
disagree.
personalities aren't the same.
You could disagree. It's an
The
opinion.
old Vegeta versus the new Vegeta's personality is way different.
Yeah. We got to write that down and make sure next time we talk about a character development, we have this conversation.
We're gonna have the Vegeta conversation eventually.
Yeah,
that'll be a fun topic.
That will be a fun topic. Unfortunately, that is not the topic for today. And if we start getting into it, I know we're both
gonna get into it.
It's gonna take up the full fucking hour.
Get into it right now.
Yeah, you can get rocks. Not gonna happen. Ain't gonna do it.
The point being to bringing up Vegeta was Endeavor, and Endeavor, they have similarities, not quite the same story arc, which is what's beautiful about anime and what is cool about the difference between My Hero and a Dragon Ball Z, and the hints that you can see that My Hero took from Dragon Ball Z, right?
Yeah,
like they definitely influenced the writers of My Hero.
I wonder how many people like admit that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they better.
Right? Like it's kind of like when when a new artist samples an old artist song, you should at least like, yeah, we took that sample. That's when you're talking about, oh, we loved your song, thank you. Yeah, that sample from this person hit. If they were like, yeah, we like Endeavor's backstory, and they're like, yeah, well, I grew up watching Vegeta. He was my favorite character arc, so I wanted to do something like that. Like that'd be cool.
It makes also perfect sense.
Wild. Who's Vegeta? Who's Vegeta?
Goku.
DBZ? What's DBZ? Dragon Ball Z?
What's DBZ?
All right, dude. Okay, dude. All right.
You cannot imagine being in the anime scene and not knowing about Dragon Ball Z.
Here's the thing, right? Like if I talked to that writer and I was like, did you get Endeavor story arc like kind of model it after Vegeta? If he said yes, I'd believe him. But if he said, who's Vegeta? I would be more sure that he copied Vegeta than if he told me he copied Vegeta. You know what I mean?
This motherfucker definitely watched.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying though?
Because you just said that, you definitely fucking have
you 100%. Yep. You 100% did that. I'd be so sure. Like if he was like,
over here in his background.
Wearing a Vegeta fucking
that's the only picture of Toriyama I've ever seen. Is just
that's fantastic.
Like, he's in front of a whiteboard, really?
Yeah.
Was it Tom from Facebook?
That's right. That's a good analogy. I like that one. But
you
know what I mean?
I've ever seen. It's like, what the fuck?
But it's serious. It's like if you were like, yeah, I definitely modeled after Endeavor, I'd be like, yeah, probably. If you're like, who's Vegeta? I'd be like, bro, for sure. I went from 90 to 100. You for sure modeled this after Vegeta.
Yeah.
You blind sack of shit.
Yeah. But a lot of comedy relief in that, and his dynamic with his family too, because of how much his kids hate
now
him.
We already saw him in the last season starting to go through that change. Do you think that this section of backstory, do you think it made you like Endeavor more?
Of course.
Or like understand him more? Or were you already there?
It's pretty clear of an understanding of where he's at, what he was, what he's trying to do. They made that very clear. It was just cool to see the act, right?
Like what we were talking about earlier. It's like, different when you see it. Yeah.
With Vegeta, it kind of switched like that. You don't really get to see the stepping stones, in my opinion.
I would agree. I would agree with that.
You could argue that, but to the degree of Endeavor, you don't see the okay.
Yeah,
he's
the
really
day-to-day.
Take the step.
Yeah, the showing the extra little steps, which thanks My Hero.
Right. It's like
slow it down a bit, huh?
Todoroki is like, I'm working on it, versus Trunks, who's like, this is my dad.
Yeah.
He's not gonna work on it. You know what I mean? Like,
this
is who he is.
Fair enough. I have a thought on that, but we'll save that for the Vegeta, because that'll lead to another Vegeta debate.
That's gonna be a great episode. We just thought about that.
Yeah, but I will say, after that whole Endeavor thing, which did get me in my feels a little bit because I understand that, you know, like
Mhm.
I've known people, I've done it too, where it's just like you're a piece of shit for so long, and then you're trying to not be a piece of shit. Everybody treats you still like you're a piece of shit. Like it's rough out there in these streets. You know what I mean,
It's hard to let go of that hate.
dude? I get it.
Like,
I
fuck
get
you,
it.
bitch.
Yeah,
No, bitch, you don't get to just wake up and say, my bad. That's not how this works.
yeah, I get it, man.
So
But
you're riding the Todoroki train.
I mean, I understand Todoroki. I don't know which side I'd side with if we were picking sides. But I mean, I think it takes a lot to try and make that change. So I think I'd side more with Endeavor on that one because he's trying, and he
Oh,
keeps
wow.
trying too because his kids
So
fucking are
someone
like,
who
"Fuck you,
fucking
nigga,"
sent his
and he's
wife
like,
to a
"All right,
mental
I'll get you
hospital, you
tomorrow."
side more with that person.
Now, yes, after the mental hospital. I want to be clear. I want to be clear. After the mental hospital. I'm not sure if
That's
you guys
pretty
have seen
fucked
any
up.
of our prior episodes, but Blackie Chan here is against women's rights. And I'd
Where did
like the
that
whole
come from?
internet to know that. All right. Look at
Yeah,
any of our
that's
past
not.
episodes.
He's
He says
lying.
terrible, terrible
That is
things.
not what I've done.
Yeah. The other day, he was like, dude, why don't you just put them in the kitchen? I was like, whoa,
Are you
whoa,
done?
Blackie.
Are you
What are you
done or are you
talking
finished?
about? What is going on here, man? It's
No,
crazy
fuck
the
that.
hate he
No,
has.
no, Jamie. Jamie. Exit that
Yeah,
shit out.
I do appreciate that you immediately caught eyes with Aang.
That
Like
shit
I
out of
do it.
here.
I do it.
That shit out
I can't see your eyes, and I immediately was like, "Oh, he's talking to Aang for sure."
of here.
But after that, we actually get into one of my favorite things, which is the Class A versus Class B showdown.
Yeah.
Which, big fan, big fan.
So
I
out of
just like,
all the events they have with the kids, you like this one.
yeah, I think that, and I'll go over it a little more on why I like it when we get into that subject. But like, I like the idea of the school learning versus real life experience. Because to this day, we have that debate, especially in like high schools where they talk about like trade schools and stuff like that. Like, hey, shouldn't you be learning a trade in high school? And they have, what is it, JTED out here, where like you could work your senior year, you go to school for half a day because that's all the classes you need. And the second half of the day, you go to like nursing school or some shit like that. Like, I think that's like a real interesting debate to have there.
Hmm.
So having them constantly going off against each other when one has so much real life experience, and the other one's basically mostly book knowledge, I like the idea of them consistently facing off.
Consistently facing off.
Like in competitions.
So you like the idea of just 1v1s,
Any kind of
2v2s,
competition,
3v3s.
just yeah, just any kind of competition. Like when they do sports festival, Class B's mixed in there. When they did this one, Class A versus Class B, where it's more straight up. I'm sure
Yeah,
we'll see other competitions between them all. Although I think there's only supposedly, rumor is there's only supposed to be like 2 more seasons
right.
at the most. So
Yeah, and I told you this back a few seasons ago. I like that. I wanted them to run more ones, right? And that was during that big
oh
tournament.
yeah, during the sports festival.
Right. I would have
You
loved
did
to have
say that.
seen them not fucking play dodgeball or tag or whatever the fuck they were playing and
Yeah,
just
just
throw
throw these
hands.
children in
Because
an arena and let them duke
w-
it out. I'm with it.
yeah, like why how is sparring not the best form of practice?
I think I'm with you on that one.
How could you
If your job is to be a
argue
hero, it should either be you're fighting people or you're trying to capture like situational
right?
teaching.
Similar to fucking
Right.
Ida being a villain and
Yeah, like
having
I
a
mean you gotta have some where like you gotta have some book learning, learning the laws and that kind of stuff.
or
But
what's
I
right to do in certain situations,
right,
what's
just
wrong
in
to do.
theory, the theory of being a
Right. The
hero.
theory of
But
saving
I agree with
people,
you. I think a majority of it should be
sparring.
hands-on sparring situations, stuff like that.
Because ultimately, what are you going to have to do?
Read a
You're going to have
book.
to throw hands.
Oh yeah, throw hands.
And it doesn't matter if you have your homies or
Doesn't
not.
matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You have to throw hands.
You have to throw those hands. Just
So
throw
why
them at
not
'em.
do it in practice?
Just throw them at them.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And
practice the way you play, you know?
you know, something cool about it's not really cool.
Well, that's a sentence, all right.
Yeah.
Something really cool about.
Yeah, it's
You
not.
know what? It's not cool. It's
Yeah.
not.
No,
I do that shit all the time.
because I was gonna be like, it's cool to be in the real life experience versus the school experience. But then when you think about the way that they're in it, they're not thinking that while they're in it. They're like, holy
No.
shit, this is real. This
Yeah.
whole thing is real.
Yeah, how do I stay alive? How do I survive this?
I
At
just
no
shot
point.
my foot.
And it's real. Yep. Good shit. And then
Yeah.
we got our favorite fucking side real quick. Who's your favorite Class B hero?
Yes. Great question. In those games, you got to see a little bit of both. And the one that I told you in the episode we had to scrap because we were arguing too goddamn much.
That was sick.
The Beast from
That's
Class
right. You did
1B.
like him.
I don't remember his actual name, but he was like not the Wolverine in X-Men, but the Blue Beast guy.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, he reminds me of him, but he was about that action. That's all I loved about it, was that he was always like, I'm gonna come at you, I'm gonna rip your face off.
Yeah.
And that's dope to see in a world full of fucking pussies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like the Vine chick, man.
I don't know why.
I like a crazy bitch in my coffee. You know what I mean?
She's not crazy. She's weird.
She's batshit. That girl is batshit crazy.
There's a difference between crazy and weird.
Yep, and she's got a healthy dose of both.
No, she's got a healthy dose of
I am a big fan.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't think you can decide what I determine is weird.
I can decide that.
Yeah, and you can believe she's weird all you want while you go hit on your mamas or whatever fuck it is you do.
My anime mamas.
There
Get it right.
Sure. Just anime.
Get it fucking right.
Just anime.
Yeah. You got that right.
Yep.
You got that right.
But yeah, that one's mine. I don't know why, just the way she talks makes me giggle. She talks like she's been in a cult
divine.
and hasn't seen the world
and
in
haven't.
like 20 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so she just talks all fucking weird. That's a crazy bitch right there. That's right up my alley.
So you're kinky. That's why you like her.
I think she's crazy, which is why I assume I like her.
So you don't like toga like that? Okay.
Nah, because blood's a weird thing for me.
She's
just
a fucking vampire.
Fucking with blood. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, don't bite my neck. You know.
But within those Class A, Class B fights, you get the massive moment, right, with Deku and the Black Flash or the Black Whip.
There we go. I was like the Black Flash. I was like Wally.
That's a guy, isn't that?
Wally West.
Isn't Black Flash a guy?
I think he's just the Flash who happens to be black.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they call him Black Flash. I could only see that as being problematic. If they were referring to the Black Flash as the Black Flash.
I mean, we know about the Black Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
Yeah, they don't call him the Black Spider-Man in the show,
they do.
Though.
For sure. Oh my God! Look, it's the Black Spider-Man.
He's got my wallet. Yeah, I was bringing it back, ma'am.
You might as well call me Hancock.
You thought I stole your wallet and started running it back to you? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? But
yeah, he loses control, right? In that
fucking, he's such a bitch, dude.
And you know how random is him manifesting that quirk?
I think if I remember right, they tried to explain it.
That was random.
It was like, yeah, you unlocked mine because you're doing a capture exercise, or man, fuck you guys. That shit was random as balls.
That's random.
You just wanted a way to be like, hey, you can use these as needed. Like,
right. And that's the crazy part, is that it entries into the idea that he's gonna manifest quirks.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is the first real Your vestige. I'm gonna show you how to use the quirk that I left behind.
Yep.
You know.
And I mean, is Black Whip really even that cool? Like,
No,
did you see it and you're like, that shit's fucking cold?
I thought it was pretty useful.
I thought it was useful. I didn't think it was cool though.
I didn't think it was
You know, like a pencil's
him,
useful.
like
Doesn't mean it's
him
cool.
and the green markers where it's all over his body, similar to the black dude from
Oh,
Fire
like
Force.
when he's powering up. Is that what you're
Yeah,
talking about?
like when he uses the
Yeah.
energy from one of his quirks.
Yeah, when he does the full calling.
Yes.
Full calling. Yeah.
Yeah. That's dope. That's a dope quirk. You're like, holy shit, that shit fucking looks dope, and it is dope. It's very
Way to
useful.
be Green Super Saiyan.
Right. And then you get to him using Black Whip, and you're like, it's a bunch of fucking like licorice, like a bunch of black,
bunch of fucking licorice.
You know what I mean? Like just I almost hit my fucking.
Yeah, if you had Black Whip, you would have been able to catch that.
You know, I don't know. It was weird.
How many people do you think have dope superpowers and just use them for bullshit?
I mean, Minata's one of them. Like purple balls. What are you gonna do with those?
Mineta? What'd you just call him?
I call him Minata.
Mineta.
Same shit.
There you go. It's not.
Minata.
It's not. But yeah, Mineta. Like, how many people? Like, when I say that, I mean like at least Mineta's in Class A trying to be a hero.
Super far off, you bitch.
It is.
Mineta.
Jesus Christ, you almost fucked up fucking up his name.
Mineta.
You realize that, right? All right. So, what I'm trying to say is at least he's in his class, like trying to be a hero. What I'm talking about is like people who literally have like dope powers and do nothing with them at all except fuck around at home all day. Like right now, when you almost dropped that glass, I was like, yeah, you could have used Black Whip to catch that. Like, how many people do you think have powers that use just like that? Like, oh, I can teleport.
I mean,
but I'm only teleporting myself to the mall, into school.
Yeah, no.
Back home.
I don't see people using it that weak. You know what I mean? If they have a dope quirk like that where they can TP somewhere, I don't see them using it.
There's gotta be a good
shit.
percent, like maybe 10%, right?
No,
because there's still people.
I think it's legitimate quirks that just suck ass. Like, if I touch somebody, I turn into their image. It's like, what quirk are you gonna use that for?
I turn into their image. That quirk doesn't even make any sense, sir.
You turn into their image.
I turn into their image. Okay, just say that then. That makes more sense. So I touch them and I look like them, but I don't get any of their powers.
Any power, nothing.
So Toga's quirk.
Without any power.
That was her quirk until the end of this season.
She uses a power.
Not until the end of the season.
But she uses power.
Her power is to transform.
No, there's no way.
Yeah.
She's got to have some sort of benefit to
She does.
Yes, she does. Because when she took over Uraraka,
I literally just said that. I don't think you heard me.
You fucking bitch.
I don't think you heard me at all.
I
said she doesn't until the end of this season. That's when she levels up. You
never said that.
I did.
When?
I can't wait. I literally said it like 30 seconds ago.
So then why would you say she doesn't then?
That's why I said she doesn't until the end of this season.
What do you mean until the end of this? What does that have to do with the fact that she can?
When we see her, I'm talking about the before. She was doing that before. That was her power before. She could only change into people.
She could use their powers too.
Not until the end of this season.
That's bull.
Go watch it. I'm not wrong on this one.
Are you talking about her manifesting a new power within her quirk?
Yeah, which was to actually copy the power. That's what she did at the end of the season when they were fighting the Liberation Army.
Mm-hmm.
She turns into Uraraka. Mm-hmm. And then she makes people float. But you could even see when she transforms into her, the news reporter chick. This is how well I remember it. I remember exactly who said it. The news reporter chick goes, yeah, don't worry. She can still she can't use their powers. And then when she uses it, she's like, are you fucking kidding me? This bitch leveled up in the middle of the fucking fight. Are you
Okay.
fucking kidding me?
All right. Fair enough.
They made it like a
Yeah.
big deal.
Fair enough.
So what I was saying is, up until the end of this season, her power was only, I
Yeah.
look like you now.
Yeah. I don't
Like,
know.
she
I think
developed
she's.
her own skills, like being able to hide her presence to help her
Yeah. I
be
don't know.
better about doing that.
I was about to say. I
But
think she still had ability. I don't think it was just all just I switch.
she had ability that had nothing to do with her quirk, though. Like, she developed herself. So yeah,
I'm not denying that. That's possible.
yeah, it's right. So
It's possible. I get it.
yeah, the more you're hearing
I
it, the
get
more
it.
you're like, you know what?
No, it's possible.
Ah, ah,
No,
ah,
it's
ah.
possible. I get it. I know you can amp your cork. That's very obvious in this season. So
Level up your quirk.
yeah,
Yeah,
same thing. Amp, level up.
it is the same thing. Just amp is a weird way to say it.
So why
You
does
could
it
say
matter?
amp up. That would make more sense. Or you're like, amp it. Like, you amp it, bitch.
Okay.
You know what
But
I mean? Sometimes you just gotta amp it, you know?
so you have that, which is
Yeah.
the Legends. Oh, Jesus Christ, League of Villains.
Man,
I always thinking about video
I
games.
thought it was gonna be me today.
I always think about video games when I say that. I fucked up that last time as
Did
well.
you?
I don't know
Did
if you
you?
remember that.
I don't,
Yeah.
but it sounds like
You're
something
like,
you're always
really, League of
fucking up, dude.
Legends? Really?
Yeah, you learned from the last one and caught it on your own real fast. So I didn't have a
Yeah.
chance to say anything.
Second I
Smart.
said it, I was like, good lord, it's villains.
Yep. Yep.
But you get that fight with the Liberation Army, right? But
Right.
before that, you find out that Hawks, you don't find out, you know that he's a double agent, but this is his moment to help the heroes, right? This is where he really comes in and gives that code and figures out a way to give the code, which I
To
thought was
Endeavor.
really fucking dope, considering how Endeavor isn't really known for his IQ.
Right. He's not known for his IQ. And on top of that, he's like a standoffish person. He's a very fuck you
Yeah.
type person
So
too.
it's like, fuck it.
So
He was like,
the fact
figure
that
this
he
out.
did that and like couldn't give him any indicators at all and had to hope that Endeavor would figure it out is kind of insane.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one you chose. Meanwhile, you kill the best genus, right?
Yeah.
Like, I would kill Endeavor and keep the best genus.
Nah, I wouldn't do that.
I don't think he could.
I was about to say.
I don't think he could. But I mean, I'm
Why
just
would you
saying,
do that?
theoretically,
Why
kill
would you do
Endeavor.
that?
Keep the his best genius is fucking dope. I fuck with that guy.
Over Endeavor?
Yeah, as a person.
As a person? When have you ever been as a person kind of guy?
Right now.
Right now, in this moment, in this argument?
In this moment, you asked if I would take him over Endeavor. I said,
You're
as a
talking about
person, I would
stomping
take him
babies
over.
out in AOT, and now
Man,
you want to
fuck
talk
that
about
baby,
best
dude.
genius?
That's different. That's
Yo,
different.
come get your boy, dude.
I don't just walk outside like I'm not like, hey, let's storm the Capitol and get rid of all these babies, right?
No,
Like,
that's
this is
exactly
a
what you're
one
saying.
baby situation. All right, that one baby in Attack on Titans needed to die. Fuck that baby. Had
That
no
baby could
business
have
being in
been
there.
Endeavor.
It wasn't. That's a different universe. It doesn't even make any sense. You know, you're stupid. I can't argue with you like this when you're like this. I can't do it. I
Okay,
can't do it, man.
my fault. That's my
Yeah,
fault.
being irrational. All right,
Yeah,
now you're just saying things.
definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
but I think that,
What did
like,
you think of?
just the sack though, to just fucking be like, hey, read this. It's a good
Right.
read, and then walk away and be like, fucking. I hope he realizes that they're about to attack with the 8,000 fucking heroes.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but I love
Fucking
the
Hail
idea
Mary.
of the meta Liberation Army. Like it reminds me of Amon,
So
where he's trying to liberate the world of airbenders or benders in general. Whereas in this one, it's
no, Amon's trying to
liberation, but in a
liberate. Hold on, real quick. Amon's trying to liberate the non-benders and trying to make society equal.
right. He's
Yeah.
trying to equalize them by getting rid of benders, right?
Yeah.
He's trying to liberate the non-benders by getting rid of benders. Whereas
Right.
Redestro
Yeah, I had to
is
clarify
trying,
because you actually said he has to liberate the benders. And I was like,
Okay.
that's not what he meant to say. I know what you meant because we
Right.
both fuck with Amon. So I was like, he didn't fuck this up on purpose. This was a genuine accident.
Right.
So that's
And
why I had to clarify.
yeah, and Redestro is a different style of liberation where he's like,
Fucking
okay, yeah,
lame.
we have benders, but we shouldn't have rules around being benders, right? If you were putting it
Yeah,
into
he's
the
like, we should
Avatar
govern
universe,
ourselves. Yeah.
like you should be able to use it freely as you want.
Yeah, we
And
should be able to
that's a
govern
dope
ourselves. And
concept.
this isn't it's an interesting one.
Dope concept. I wouldn't agree with it. I wouldn't be
It,
on board with it. But you'd also be like, all right, I see where you're coming from. It's just not right.
yeah, and then also, can we talk about like how the League of Failures originally
Okay.
went to the Liberation Army and were like, hey, you guys should join us. And once again, the people they asked to join tried to fight them
I don't know.
or did fight them, actually.
Did they ask them to join them though? You know?
They were trying to merge. They were trying to work together.
Oh
I
no.
believe was the initial
Because they had
offer.
already captured Giran by the time
Yeah, but
Shigaraki even
he was
talked
like,
to
yeah,
him.
we should work together. And Desha was like, yeah, go fuck yourself. We're gonna eliminate you.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Shigaraki's like, you could try, bitch.
Fair enough.
Come get any one of these hands.
Right.
Because he has like 8. Did you get it?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I said, get any one of these hands. It's because he has 8.
He has 8 hands.
Yeah, did you get it? He has like
No,
12
I didn't. I didn't.
that cover his face.
Oh, okay.
It's whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It
it's
definitely
whatever.
is.
But I
It def-
just like, why? Like, are you that bad at your job? Like, why do
yeah.
people hate Shigaraki so much?
Right. Like
I mean, I
imagine
hate him, but it's because I know
imagine
he's a
being
whiny little
Shigaraki
bitch.
though. So you're an orphan, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
you kill your own family,
Yep, you do.
find that out, and All for One takes you in, and when All for One takes you in, you try to be a successor. So you're trying to get on board with the same people he's on board with. When you try to get on board with the doctor, he's like, "Man, fuck you, man. You got to go kill Gigantomachia." And then he goes over to Gigantomachia, and that motherfucker's impossible to beat. So
Well,
he's in
he
the middle of
doesn't tell
battling
him
him
you got to try and fight him. He's just like, you got to get fucking Makia to join you,
to submit
and
to you.
and
Like,
and
how else you gonna
Makia's
get
like,
somebody to submit to you?
fuck you, fight me. That's another person that tried to fight him when he wanted them to join. Like,
Right.
we're just
But what
racking
other
up all
option do you
these.
have?
No, I get it. You don't have any other option. I'm just saying everybody wants to fight him.
But that's what I was saying is it sucks to be Shigaraki. It's like he grew up fucked up. Then he
Mm-hmm.
gets seen by All for One and he's like, "Oh, I have hope." And then next thing you know, he's like he has to pair it with these, nobodies, these what do you call it? Scoundrels. And and then when he pairs up with
Is that the
them,
word? Real quick, was that the word you were looking for, or
no,
is that the word you just decided to go with?
that's what I went with.
Decided to
It
go with
was
because you couldn't think of the word. I'll
right.
accept it. I'll
Uh,
accept it under that. Continue.
right. You know what I meant. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean? It's
do.
like some
I do.
motherfuckers
But I was
just
like,
ain't
there's
shit.
no way he spent all that time to say scoundrels.
Yeah, no,
So I just needed to verify out loud.
I just, I went with
All
it.
right. Continue,
And
sir.
so he finds them, and they're not enough because by the time they go up against the Liberation Army, unless Twice loses his mind, right, and copies
Crazy
himself a
motherfucker.
hundred and million times,
If
I don't know
Twice
what
was a
the
girl, he'd be just my type.
okay, all right, that's disgusting. That is
I said if he was a girl.
yeah, but it's like, yo, All for One, can you fucking help me out? I'm supposed to be your apprentice. Can you fucking do some work here? That's what I'm thinking of Shigaraki. Can you fucking help me out?
That's a
Can you
good
fucking
point.
put in a word for me, bitch? I'm supposed to
That's
be
a
your vessel. You
that's
fuck
actually
face.
that's actually a pretty
You
good
know?
fucking point.
Like
Like, at what point does All for One be like, hey, you need a little help on this one? You know what? Hey, how about this? How about you let me go talk to him? I'll introduce you guys. Okay? But let me start it off. No, he's like, yeah, figure it out. You need
yeah.
Maki on your side. Go figure it out.
Yeah. So he has to figure out Makia.
I never thought about that. That's
The,
fucking
the
funny.
only reason he figures out Makia is because of the Liberation Army. And he's
Yeah.
like, well, let me tackle two birds with one stone and send Gigantomachia towards this big ass army. So it ends
Right.
up paying off, and he ends up fucking leveling up again to some broken ass. I touch a fucking ground, and then the ground touches you, and then now you lose everything.
That's
That's
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. Like, and they didn't like. So before, the whole thing was he had to have all 5 fingers on it, right?
Yeah,
Well, if
I
all
think.
he needs
Yeah.
is 5 fingers on the fucking ground, then like
Next thing you
they've
know, is it going to be air? Is he going to just
right,
put
they
all
do
five
such a
fingers on
good
the
job.
air?
They do such a good job for the most part. Not always, but for like I would say 90% of the time, they do a good
Balancing
job of balancing and
the
putting the
power.
right limitation on powers, right? You can do
Yeah,
this, but you can only do this. You can do
right.
that, but there's a limit. You can do this, not so much. You know what I mean? Like this is one where it's just like I get it. He's supposed to be the main bad guy,
He's
but don't you think
already looks
you could
stronger than All Might. Because
right,
you
like
saw All Might, and you're like, holy shit, he's fighting Nomus, and they're counteracting his power.
mm-hmm.
And you're
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, there's a weakness.
Right.
With Shigaraki, you're like, what?
Yeah, what
He
do you
learns
do
how to
with
do
that?
that?
Like he could be 6 miles away and touch the ground and take you with it. Like,
And all you have to do is be touching the ground.
yeah, and there might be a limit that they're gonna introduce later, but ultimately it's like, what does
That's
it
too
matter?
much.
Right?
That's
Like
too
they're like,
much.
oh, his limit is 1 mile. He could do that for a mile?
That's wild.
That's fucking out of control. Like it and then the whole League of Villains, all 12 of them, take on all 8,000 members of
Because
the
it's twice.
goddamn Liberation Army.
Because it's twice. That was another cop out.
Yeah, fucking. All right,
Twice.
dude.
The whole concept twice was that he couldn't handle that many people. Now
Yeah,
he's handling over what, like 10,000?
yeah. Fucking. I don't know, man. It's irresponsible, is what it is. It's fucking
Irresponsible writing.
irresponsible.
Fuck you.
Yeah, yeah. It's just
Great
slapping.
season, but
He
fuck
just
you.
slapped a dick in my face and tried to tell me it's snow.
Oh, hell no.
It's a common phrase. Everybody uses it. All right, everybody says
Why
that
did you think of slapping a dick in your face?
because that's the saying. What? Am I missing something?
We went from Shigaraki being too OP to you saying, slap a dick on my face and call me Susan.
I definitely didn't say that.
That's
Now you're just
exactly
making
what
fun
you
of it. You're
just
making
said.
it sound like it's not a real saying. All right, and I don't
Rewind it
appreciate
back.
it.
Rewind it
I
back.
don't
That's
appreciate
exactly
it.
what he said.
I can't rewind it back at this moment. All right. Jesus, you guys can though. So if you guys want to go ahead, rewind it back, comment below who was right. It was me. I
Okay.
didn't say Susan. And then we could always make Blackie Chan look like a little bitch. So make sure you talk a lot of wild shit to him.
We're talking about me being a bitch now. That's
Yep.
unnecessary. But
whoa, seems a little unnecessary.
Light undertone to everything that's been going on. Kurogiri from Aizawa.
Can you say his name one more time for me?
No, I'm not.
Oh, why not? You did such a good job the first time.
What's his name?
I'm not even gonna try.
What's his name?
It'll only go bad.
I said it. Go ahead. You say it.
No, I'm good. So he is a Nomu, we find out.
That was crazy, wasn't it?
That was fucking wild. Especially when you find out, like, so I guess finding out he was a Nomu wasn't a big surprise. It was finding out that his original quirk and his original body was fucking Erasure and President Mike's friend.
Yeah.
Where you're like, yo, what the fuck?
Out of all the people you could choose.
Yeah. Like, what are the odds? Writers.
Writers.
Writers. I said, what are the odds? Writers.
You fuck that shit.
I wanted them to know.
Right.
Yeah,
That was a great moment though, because Aizawa was like, Kurogiri! I know you hear me.
Yeah, I think he called him by his friend's name. I don't think he called him by that name.
He called him by his friend's name?
Yeah. So whatever his friend's name was before.
What was his friend's name?
I can't remember. But whatever his name was
shut the
before.
Fuck up. All right? Unless you know the name, you shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you can eat a dick. Man, dicks on the mind. I don't know what to tell you.
You keep on bringing it up.
I keep bringing them up, man. I can't get them out of my head. Just dicks everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
It's
Great
probably because we were
moment though
talking about
again.
Endeavor for so long. Talk about your dicks, you know? We talked about Endeavor and Vegeta for a while. So that's probably why dicks are on the mind. Can't help
All right.
it.
Can you stop? It's not getting any
Yeah,
better.
we did see the All for One and Shigaraki
Okay.
backstory as well.
Oh, for what a dick. I mean,
What are you doing, man? It's not even close.
this motherfucker didn't even try.
Didn't even try and hide
It's like,
it.
yeah, we did get the deku and penis and
The
shit.
deku and penis. What? Deku and penis.
No, you
What?
said diku.
And you keep saying penis every time, man. What's going on, dude?
All right.
But like the All for One,
Jesus Christ.
it's so funny because when you look at like the All for One and the Shigaraki backstory, in a way, it's similar to the Deku and All Might backstory.
What I notice in Shigaraki's background versus Deku's background is Shigaraki is used from a innocent standpoint. Is they make it very clear
What do
in
you mean?
season 5 that he's an orphan who doesn't understand why he killed his family, right? So it shows him killing his family and it hints at him enjoying that. He killed
Okay.
his family.
What do you mean by the innocence factor, though?
But
That's
they
where.
prey on the innocence of he doesn't realize what he actually did. And that's what I
Gotcha.
mean by
Okay.
innocence. It's like
Okay.
a
That
kid
makes
who kills
sense.
his parent at that age
Yeah.
doesn't realize
What
the
the effects
full gravity
of what they did.
of what just
Okay.
happened.
That
And
makes
I
sense.
get it. Any fucking kid can see they just killed their parent. I'm not saying he didn't see that. I'm saying he doesn't realize the full on gravity
Of
and the
what
idea
yeah, the full effect of what he just did.
of why All for One is like, hey kid,
Yeah. Y-
you just
I like you.
fucking
I've taken a
massacred,
liking to you.
right? And then you're the one who takes a liking to me massacring my family.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty crazy to see in season 5 that dynamic of Shigaraki growing into
Yeah.
All for One shadow
Can I
in a
tell you
way.
a weird thought I had watching that season that
Mhm.
literally means nothing and went nowhere in my thoughts other than this? Whereas like in that he talks about they have like Shigaraki like talking about his backstory as they're going over it. And he's like, yeah, as a kid I was allergic to everything. We just didn't know what I was allergic to, and it showed him like scratching and shit, right?
Yeah, I don't.
In my head, I go, if he's allergic to everything, why don't they just blow some dust on him or something
Oh, to kill him?
to kill him? Like to subdue him. Like if he's allergic to everything, how did that fucking stop?
Right.
It was in
That's a
the
good point.
backyard, just sitting in the air, just fucking scratching and shit. Like just fucking let's drop some dead grass on the guy and fucking have him
Well,
break out in some hives.
maybe he thought that there was something, right? But
Mm-hmm.
ultimately it wasn't. Ultimately he wasn't allergic to
And
anything.
that's
He just
possible. Yeah, that's possible. It's just not clear because these fucking jackasses didn't explain it out.
fair enough.
Yeah.
I
So
can't say I can't say they did. I can't say they explained it out. So
yeah. So it's up to us
it's a fair
fucking guessing.
frustration to have.
Yeah. Thank you guys. All that backstory and storyline, you couldn't get that right. Fuck you. Don't
Yeah.
change a thing. I love your show. Continue.
Yeah. But it was definitely crazy to see that Shigaraki is All Might's predecessor's grandchild.
Yeah.
Very crazy.
It's like they
Very crazy.
and they always do that in animes.
Very
They
crazy.
always like connect everybody and
Right.
everything. It's such a
And it
common
has to play a
theme.
role in the end, right? Like that's what
Yeah,
I'm thinking.
it's got to.
That relationship has to play a role. How? I have no fucking clue yet. But the fact that they've made that so evident that she was his grandmother, I wonder how they're gonna fucking full circle that bitch. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
Yeah,
It's
that
very
is a
intriguing.
genuine good question. Yeah,
Is it like, and there's a chance that it doesn't.
yeah, it's a good possibility. It has nothing to do with anything. It's just
It's
something that
just
happened.
that he is the
Yeah,
grandchild and that he needs to
it
be
just
stopped.
so happened to be that he's the grandchild, and that's it.
Yeah,
Like it made play no effect on anything. So what can
right,
you do? But before we get out of here, what was the thing you enjoyed the most in this season? What was the thing you disliked?
right. So what I liked most was Endeavor's backstory. I think
Yeah,
they
you're a
did
backstory training kind of a guy.
right. I think it was great arc. And again, we made it very evident that we compare it to Vegeta's arc, or at least I do. And
Not the same.
it's not the same, but it's very similar and it's very cool in that I love a side character playing a massive role in what a main character develops into. And you could argue that Todoroki's not really a
I
main
do
character,
enjoy that.
but I disagree.
I think he's one of the main characters. I think you could say that. Like
Right,
it's clearly Deku's show,
right.
but secondary main characters.
Outside of Bakugo, it's
I
Todoroki,
put Todoroki up there. Yeah,
like right behind Bakugo.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'd
But
put him up there.
yeah, that his backstory was very good, very crisp. The fucking weirdo that wanted him to kill him was
Oh, with
weird.
the fucking what a stupid fucking power.
Yeah,
What a fucking dumb power that was.
that was
Fucking
weird.
guess what I could do? I could take the lines off the road and stab you with them. Cool.
Excuse me.
Like what the fuck? Who thinks of this shit?
And
Like
why?
who's driving on the road and is like, I wonder, you know what I'm gonna do today? I'm gonna create a character that takes these lines that I hate so fucking much, and he tries to kill people with them.
And it was
Like, what are we
pointless.
fucking so
Like
dumb? Such a stupid fucking power.
it was pointless mainly because he's like, I want you to kill me. It's like you could have just not done any of that and let him kill you.
Yeah, yeah. There's 1,000 different things that could have been different here that would have probably worked out better for you. But what can
Yeah,
you
I
do?
don't
And
know.
then what was it? What was the thing you disliked?
And then what I disliked the most about this season was Deku winning after he lost control of Black Whip.
Yeah,
He's losing control.
I
He's
get that.
fucking like, oh, help me, and then Shinzo is the one who ends up helping him, right? He's the
Right?
one who ends
Yeah.
up putting him in the trance. And
Deku.
then
Okay.
he gets smacked by Uraraka,
Yeah.
and then he wakes up and then just whoops everybody's ass. And it's like, if they didn't help you, you would have been consumed by your quirk first and foremost.
Yeah, that's an
And
automatic L, sir.
yeah, and secondly, how are we allowing this to continue? He just fucking cheated.
Yeah, I think we understood, and I think we've talked about it constantly. Those teachers don't give a fuck about them students, dude.
Clearly.
Like
Why
you've
wouldn't
brought this up to
Eraser or
nauseum.
someone
Like, yeah,
nullify his shit? Someone. It didn't even have to
you
be
would think.
Eraser.
And they're like, huh, hold on, let's let it play out. What the fuck do you mean let it play out?
What do you mean, Kobe Bryant? Like,
Yeah, what
what the
does
fuck
that
are you
mean,
talking
Kobe
about?
Bryant? Fucking let it play out. He's fucking trying to kill everybody.
To end the
What's
show?
wrong with you? Play us out? Fucking shit, dude.
What were
But yeah,
your
I get that. I get that 100%.
favorite moment, least favorite moment?
Yeah, and I know we already touched on it, but Class A versus Class B. I just like the idea of just the clashing philosophies in the classrooms. Schoolwork versus real life experience. I like it anytime they have to compete and you kind
What
of
do you
see the
think's more important?
difference. I personally think real life experience is more important.
You fucking basic bitch.
Uh sorry. I don't know what you want from me there. But I think that's probably a little. I think both are needed. I do think both are needed, but I think experience is far more important
Than strategy.
than the school learning aspect.
Because you would think the thing you learn in schooling is strategy, right? The
Yeah,
idea of
theory,
hypothetically, what
theory.
would we do? What would you do?
Yeah,
You could argue that that's the training, right?
yeah,
I
and
don't know.
that's
It might be more important because you might have been training for the moment. What's more important than training for the moment that you're about to have versus having the moment before you're ready?
I mean, I think even if you're in school learning, I think there's a good chance that you're still not ready when you get the
But
experience.
imagine being a boxer, right? I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
bring up a fucking analytical comparison.
Here we go.
Imagine being a boxer. You're a professional. You haven't had one
I
fight
am a
yet,
professional, not one. Okay.
and then you go up against Pretty Boy Floyd. Pretty
Yeah,
Boy
I'm
Floyd,
losing that.
not
Yeah.
not the one who, not
No, we're
Money
talking about the
Mayweather.
one who throws hands.
Yeah, right. And
Yeah.
you step into the ring not having fought one fight into Pretty Boy Floyd. I mean, you know what I mean? Like
Well, I
that's
don't
what
know what point you're trying to prove because it
I'm
sounds like
trying
you're
to
trying to
prove,
prove
that real
mine.
life expectation would be if I need to step into All for One, or if I need to step into Shigaraki, if I need to step into Twice, if I need to step into Toga, those high level motherfuckers, but one on one, if it was only one on one, you'd be fucked. Like just like how Stain fucked them up.
Yeah, but I you're not wrong, but I don't think they're going to be in a better position with school learning.
I think they would be. If you went through full schooling, you'd be like
Nah.
lemillion, where you learn your ability to a high degree to where you
Yeah,
actually
we're going to
can
have to
apply
agree to
it.
disagree on this one and just keep it moving
No, I
cuz
think because lemillion is a
no.
classic example.
No. Yeah. And my least favorite thing was easily the League of Villains fight with the Liberation Army. I just fucking I hate the
How do you not
convenience of
like
them.
that?
But the fight itself was cool. I
Fuck
don't
you.
like the convenience of leveling up in the middle of the biggest fight of your life when you're outmatched.
That's called Dragon Ball Z 101.
Yeah, I hate that about Dragon Ball Z.
You hate that they reach a new level at the biggest fight?
That it's conveniently timed. Like
That's
I
every
like it.
anime.
Like I like it. I
JJK,
know. I don't like that either. It's one of my least favorite things in animes.
Bleach,
I don't. Are you just gonna name off every anime ever made?
Black Clover.
You guys, he's watched all of 10 episodes of Black
And
Clover,
he was about to die.
and you can see that he's already brought it up like 18
Asta
times
was
today.
about to die. And then he
He has
creates his fucking sword out of nothing.
he has no idea what he's talking about. Oh no, that example was spot on. He has no idea what he's talking about. He didn't create it out of
What
nothing.
other
But
animes do we have?
that's
It's the
not.
same shit over and
Yeah,
over.
it's not my favorite aspect in animes. I don't like it. I
Attack
hate
on
that shit
Titan.
about animes. Oh my god.
He's about to die and then he becomes a
He's just
Titan.
gonna ignore me, guys. All right. But yeah. So we appreciate every single one of you guys. That wraps up today because we're not gonna sit here and just listen to him name the other 5 animes he's ever watched. All
All right.
right.
First of all, ain't nothing wrong with 5 animes.
All
Ain't
right.
nothing wrong with that.
So we appreciate every single one of you guys. Are we in the 690s yet?
We're in the 690s.
We are in the 690s, ladies and gentlemen. We are almost
Appreciate
at
y'all.
700. We
Yes.
appreciate every
Very
single
close.
fucking one of you. Please make sure you like, subscribe,
Yes,
comment
sir.
as always. Comment. You know, Blackie
Yep.
loves those comments.
Yep.
Got anything you want to say to the people?
No, just the comments help us decide new videos, decide what else to talk about. Keep in mind what aspects of the episodes we cover we could bring up. We love it. So it means a lot when you guys make comments. We obviously like the likes, we obviously like the subscribes, but when you comment, it's a one-on-one connection with us that we love, or at least I love. I don't know if you like
Yeah.
it,
I
but
promise you, we read all of them. At
we
this
do.
point, where we're only getting 5 or 10 comments, we read all of them.
Right.
When we get in the hundreds, we won't. But right now, we read all of them.
So now's your chance.
So even if we don't respond, I promise you we read it. Okay.
And even
And
when you
fuck
guys
you
are,
too.
yeah, even when you guys are commenting 100 comments by then, we're gonna be fucking doing this shit for real, for real. So I'll probably end up reading all them motherfuckers.
I'm sorry, guys. Get to deal with him.
So
The worst.
it is what it is. But thank you guys. Love you guys.
We appreciate
you guys support it.
Yep.
Love it.
Yep. Comedy Hashira.
Blackie Chan.
We out.
We out.